Okay. Last week, we got a big ass summary about the lead up to Endwalker, which ended with us getting a message from Cryo that hey, she's finished arranging for us to be able to go to Charlia. Hey, Darth. And we travel to Charlia. On the way, we have a talk with Heidelin. Who's all like, yeah, I couldn't really talk to you until you knew what I was. We need to be on the equal understanding level, you know. Then we get to Charlene, and after a brief bit of humour at the immigration docks, Kryle and Graha take us on a tour of the island. After which we have to figure out. We are given two objectives. We have to figure out what the hell the form's hiding, and go to Davnir to help with an immediate request involving tempering the towers and getting close to them, as they are apparently getting close to a means of shielding oneself. We began by helping the nerds get through the records of the Forum in Charlia. We didn't get much information at the library. We went off for tea we went off to the cafe with Alice. And then we learned, hey, the Gleaners seem to be doing a lot more work all of a sudden. Significant more work all of a sudden. And then we watched them like, yep, they're sure to be doing a significant amount of work. So we went to Labyrinthos. This is a gigantic storage facility and terrarium of different biodomes for a whole host of research subjects. We help one leader get their stuff back, and we get hints and prods along the way. There are glowing flowers. Remember, the glowing flowers are very important as Heidelin possesses Cryle to ensure that we keep them with us as they react to emotion, and they will be our guide. Then we find out the Forum considers it of vital most importance to fully stock up Labyrinthos. Now. It needs to be done now. Then we're caught by the Forum, who tried to get us exiled, but that's put off because the head of the school's like, that's dumb. Let's just not let them go. Just ban them from inquiring about what we're doing. Which is then agreed upon. But we do realize that they have become obsessed with this roughly 200 years ago when they poked into the ethereal sea. That's all we got. Meanwhile, we take the boys over to Thavnir and experience why you need to be attuned to an aetherite crystal before you teleport, because boy do you get sick. Oh, do you get sick. We help find out that due to the return of war and all the beasts, that ultimately Thavnir is doing quite badly on trade, despite fisherman sell his fish. He was a nice big elephant man. And then we have the moment of going, oh wait a minute, he might be kidnapped. Because, you know, that's what used to be happening with all the other animal people. Sure enough, they stop him being kidnapped. And then we learn a bit about their religion and their gods. And we meet over the alchemists, who are very intrigued by both us and the Stenian. And we help them develop a charm which will shield one from temporary. When we test this out, we go up into the tower, like, yep, this is working. Now we just need to mass produce this, but then Fandanio sort of hoists her into the tower. Then, by the time we get to them, it's too late, she is already attached to it. And Fandanio reveals that he is actually a Mon, the man who made the Crystal Tower. As well as all the other extreme elegant stuff like the moon that imprisoned Bahamut and like. Elena, you're practically a goddess at this point. What do you even do? What else can you do for you? Huh? Oh, I didn't realize I was doing this is stimming for me. And that's where we left off because it was 1 in the morning and I was exhausted. I recommend people actually do watch that stream though because we covered a lot of ground. Tonight's stream will not actually be anywhere near as long because I've had an exhausting day. To the extent I was debating if I was even going to stream today at all. I decided I have a good idea of where I want to get to, so we are going to try and get to it. That is Vamos. How are you both? Hope you've had a good week. Nice to be pretty good, for the most part. Exhausting. I had to deal with a spider outbreak. And a wasp. New health stuff. How about you two? First, we must inform everyone of the situation, the Diana's colleagues included. I'll call them together for a gathering. I think it would be best if you were the one to explain. Oh, Diana. Can you answer me this? Luna Dana has shut in the tower. She's still alive, yes? Then we must make warning scales as many as we can. The prototype works perfectly. This the Dana proved that parallel to herself. So let us make more scales, that she and all those who are taken might be saved. Aye. As alchemists, this is how we will help win the fight. My friends, the Satrap has been made aware of the tragedy. The officer's heartfelt condolences and reiterate his pledge to provide you with all that you require. To that end, he made me give you this link para that he might personally discuss the production of the wooden scales with you. And for our Eorzean visitors, I bear an invitation. In the report, Mr. Sandana noted your vital contributions to the talisman's creation. This man came to the Satrap's attention, and in recognition of your deeds, he wishes to meet you. In addition to thanking you in person, we would also discuss further avenues of collaboration. And so, if it is agreeable with, will you not accompany me to Razatan for an audience with His Excellency? We should be honored, of course. Closer cooperation between our lands can only be a benefit to all of us. Well, then it is settled. Please come to the gates, east of the giant scale grounds, and I will show you to the city. Please tell me we don't need to ride a dodo again. I'm much better with my unicorn. Much less awkward. We're getting your laptop with all. Ooh! Sweet Ori! That's significant amount of memory. Yeah, that's do you know if it's a solid state or if it's access? Or rewritable, even. All present, then let us proceed. Owing to the threat of the tower, the city is currently in a state of high alert, and strict restrictions are in place for it entry. You may have granted special permission. I ask you to remain close to me at all times.
A vast rock squats upon Thavnair, and to its stony surface clings the city of Rads-at-Han. Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye. The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things. Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun. The fragrant haze, a mixture of sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet. Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets.
Welcome to Razatan. Probably not the best weather to come here on, but I can't help that.
But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
Here we are, Megaduta. It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside. Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Ah, splendid. Most splendid. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ahawan, satrap of Radzatan. Our alchemists tell me your assistance was invaluable in the creation of the warding scale. Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I have young Varshan convey you here forthwith. On behalf of my people, may I express to you our sincere gratitude. A regrettable incident indeed. Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman, that it will be instrumental in saving Nidana and the others. I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit.
I think not. This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
Nay, he hath the right of it. The time for artifice is past. Raise the curtain.
As you wish.
You travel as assistants to the students of Valdesian, but you are known to me. Even here have we heard of the scions of the Seventh Dawn. I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
Vritra, of the first brood, sibling to Hraesvelga and Nidhogg.
Aye, mine elder brothers, of Midgard's Sornwa's spawn, I was last to hatch.
Well, isn't this a surprise? We were told Radzat-Han had an alliance with the dragon. Not that a great worm sat in the satrap's own hall.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively. In the beginning, the rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone. In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair. Next to arrive were the Aura. Adopting the example of their Akasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility. When it seemed all would be drowned in blood, Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict. A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Radz at Han.
But if Ritra is still here, then your position as Satrap is just...
A charade, yes. And one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Many envy the great worms their power. Were it known that I ruled here, then the fires of war would burn without end. I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who joined me in laying our country's foundations were, perforce, sworn to secrecy.
Your eye. It was taken.
'Tis here, buried within the semblance of flesh. The body before thee is but a simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Razatan. With mine eye nestled within, it doth serve as an inconspicuous vessel for my will.
That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
I am woven with words fashioned to deceive such arcane senses. Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered, Estinian warm blood. From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another, yet did neither one of us bare his fangs. That is all I need know of thee for now.
With my secret thus revealed, I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Radz at Han. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, should it lay within our power, dispel its wicked influence. Yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit the size of our force.
And thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
Just so. Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a surer path before me. Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Pagalthan and Kartanau, I am told. 'Tis upon that strength I would call, The Scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of our spear. Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions. And should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk. Just think of what we might accomplish if we could equip all our allies with warding scales. I worry, however, that even the four of us may be too few for what you have in mind. Might we regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter?
'Tis no trifling task that I have laid before you. Go, steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall be spent in crafting your protective charms.
It seems a quick trip back to Charlian is in order.
Wilt thou not lend thine aid?
Whether your request be made as a great worm or the ruler of Rods at Han, I see no reason to refuse, nor will I.
I am in thy debt.
What was that? You just leaving immediately. But, surprise! What happens when you roll a 1 on your Batman escape? Yeah. That was what I was aiming to get to last week. But alas and awry, I just had no more to give. That meeting took a rather unexpected turn, but we now have a clear objective ahead of us. Let's rejoin our comrades on Charlian and muster a suitable crew for our foray into the Tower of Assault. Oh, and if I haven't already done so, be sure to return yourself to E3 here before departing. Unless, of course, you enjoy final nausea. So a small character thing I want to bring up. Vitra is the only Great Worm who speaks doesn't speak Dragon Tongue. There's a nice way of showcasing that he is the one that is the most in tune with people. Conflicts between the Dog and Eyes in the past, and they were brothers. There's no bearing on my view of Vitra. Above all else, he is a leader of men, not an enemy. He would hardly dedicate his life to this endeavor if he bore our kind in any ill will. Vitra and his alchemists have prepared us for a foray into the town. What we may accomplish within its twisted halls remaineth to be seen. Our cousin Jodra, languish in Talhoffroy chains before, doth forewarn us of the nature of our foe. 'Tis the cause of Thanir who will be summoned to thwart us. Just I was getting used to the balmy Thanir. They're coming back and surely Charlian. Take care not to catch your breath, eh? We need you for the battles to come. Now then. Everyone appears to be here. So let's take stock of the developments and discoveries. Since there have been progress in both investigations, shall we share the findings from our research locales?
Your time in Thafnir has certainly been eventful. In my opinion, carrying out Vitra's request and assaulting the Tower of Zot should be our highest priority.
I agree. While I still have questions concerning the Forum and their grand undertaking, we have all but exhausted our avenues of investigation. Simply pressing them any harder on the subject will almost certainly result in our expulsion. Therefore, I suggest we explore the ethereal sea connection by way of a letter to Master Matoya, then make our way to Thavnair.
I wonder, even with the protection these talismans afford us, what can we hope to achieve once inside the tower? According to Orenvold and Frodola's report, they were unable to free the Emulger. Worse, their attempts triggered the tower's defenses, which led to a summoning of Luna Afrit.
What does it tell us that the Spires even have such defenses? Simply pulling a prisoner from the wall is fatal, thus the direct approach is doomed to failure from the outset. Any further measures to dissuade such actions seem unnecessary. Unless, of course, there is a way to free the prisoners without killing them. Then it stands to reason that any intruders will be met with overwhelming force.
The towers appeared throughout the world in but the twinkling of an eye. 'Twas by magical means these structures were raised, I surmise. A spire thus conjured must needs be maintained, and I suspect an arcane catalyst, some manner of core, doth lie hidden within. Destroy the core, and the tower ceaseth to be, thus liberating the captives without harm.
So we can hope, and I would prefer to enter the tower with a working theory than with no plan at all.
Assuming Ishtola's reasoning is correct, the chances of the defenses remaining dormant are small to none. Any primals will have to be dealt with, and defeating one will likely only lead to the summoning of another. Our every victory will only compound the prisoner's suffering.
May we not then divide our forces? Those proficient in healing will focus on sustaining the captives. That duty can be covered by Urianger, Kryl, Yostola, and myself. The remaining scions will proceed with the search for the core. Admittedly, this strategy puts both parties at greater risk, but it should bolster our chances of saving the Arcosodra by a considerable margin. If you're to fight primals, then you'd best have at least one healer with you.
And I am more than happy to fulfill that role. I found wielding a sage's armaments to be rather intuitive, and look forward to testing them against a more challenging foe.
It seems we have a plan. All that remains is to carry it out. I will inform Radzat Han of our movements, so let us make our preparations and regroup near the tower.
The military post in what's left of the Hamsa hatchery should serve as a convenient staging point.
That sounds perfect. And remember, the experimental aetherite at the confluence is there for those who need it, so there's no excuse for being late.
Oh yes, there is if you use that. The farm members are still showing their faces in public. I haven't verbally eviscerated them nearly hard enough. I say it, I'm usually going to be taking that because there's a 1500 gil teleport. Can't talk to her apparently. Another round to the aetheric testing? Then please, by all means, let's get West Glade to Fafnir before you come to your senses. I do love sometimes you can just teleport a place and there's just Omega. That is quite a skyline. Ah, other friends of the Odyssey. We've been expecting you. You and yours will lead the mission to the tower, I'm told. The boarding scales will be delivered soon. Till then, please stand by at the boat we have readied. When your fellows arrive, I will direct them to join you. We pray for your safety and success. So, you two ready for one of the most special moments in this entire expansion? Not a group of 4 enter, but every single scion. The future be clear, shall I? I think I'll stick to boats. Aye. No warning. Lauren could have prepared me for that. On account of which we are a little late, but fighting fits. Mostly. My friends, permit me to thank you for accepting this mission. We must be... we should still call you Varshan, I suppose. Indeed. We will not do to confuse our soldiers. Very well then. For our part, we are humbled that you should see fit to entrust us with your warding skills. Please convey as much to His Excellency. One for each of you. Please accept them with my blessing. Oh, thanks. With these we can go anywhere with these, but where's the lights can go? Not only for this operation either, but all the ones to come. I can finally break your monopoly on primals. So have we, my friend. So have we. If everyone is amenable to it, let's review the strategy for good measure. As previously agreed, we'll divide into 2 groups. Relina and her band will break through the tower's defenses and locate its core. Meanwhile, the rest of us will tend to the prisoners, who will doubtlessly want for healing due to the duress of repeated summonings. The purpose which the tower bringeth forth shall be the deities of Thavnir Smith. As we have no prior experience with such foes, pray excuse the utmost caution when confronting them. Exercise, not excuse. We commence the operation you word, my friend. For the people of Thavnir, nay, the entire world, we must prevail. Alright, chat. Estenian or Alice, who are we bringing? Because that's basically our choice. In this corner, we have the sister of Alphino, the other red mage. You would be correct, Ori. We haven't had Estenian join us since Heaven's Ward as a party member. Like, he was in the dungeon that we did before starring Endwalker. But he, more as an interaction that was happening during it. And I think we did use Alice in that one as well, so...
Right then.
Let's go. So I'm trying to be out there the next member for body count. But yeah, we haven't had him join us since we're in the Detox dungeon. Which was halfway in Heaven's Ward. Seriously. This is awesome. Oh, please, let's proceed with caution. Like a more brooding version of all of these.
This will hurt.
Like it's been very mean that came out of the white mage. That's how it Portion Bond was alive last time we had Estenian in the party. aside, I want to bring attention to the fact that we're only level 81 in this. Everything we did last week was 1 level. Oh, wait a minute. This planet's doing it, come to life. Yo, focus on sustaining our process. The rest of you must keep going. Onwards and upwards. It's so biological looking. That's not a hint or anything. That's just something I've noticed every time I come here. This doesn't look made. It looks broken. Perversion appeals faith. Onwards to the upper floors. I choose you, Thancred. What's up, made of? Boys, you can share him. They don't often have dialogue choice options that line up that perfectly. as the towers are deep. Basically like this. Saves us just a visual match as well, yes. I do so what nonsense is this?
All or nothing!
Trying to dance in front of me? I'll take sheer to just me. Oh, nothing. the boss. All the way back to D-Dog Tower. Not D-Dog. Midgard Swords. Man, we haven't even done Heaven's Ward yet. Are we never doing that yet? Spine we go. No matter the cost, must break the tower. Why'd you say that, Sadian? Fair enough.
You underestimate me!
That could have gone a lot worse. God, I love this dungeon. Well, I can tell that something's appeared to be over. I believe the secret to this outcry. Never know what fire second from that. That seems to have been the limit of the tower's defenses. And yep, another Pantheon bites the bust.
Is everyone all right?
We fortified the captives with what magics we could. Have the defenses been disabled? All appears quiet for the moment.
The lower floors were disturbing enough, but this place feels wrong. The ether is heavy and thick, like wading through a quagmire.
I believe we stand in the tower's beating heart. What sayest thou, Ishtola?
I see it. Ether siphoned from the land runs up through the spire, flowing to a single point. This is the core we seek. Yet something is off. As large as this structure is, it siphons far more ether than is required to sustain it. 'Tis as if the core is feeding on the energy, consuming it. I need to take a closer look. Curious. There is something there embedded inside the core. A man's limb.
This is what we came to destroy?
Yes, if you would be so kind.
And that should be the end of it.
What now?
My theory that the tower might come crashing down following the core's destruction doth appear to be correct.
Bully for you! And how are we supposed to survive the fall?
What of the prisoners below?
The floor beneath our very feet dissolves. Brace yourselves!
I pray I'm not too late.
Oh, what happened? Where are we?
By my reckoning, we're still on the island where the tower stood. But 'tis as if it never existed. Hardly a scratch. But how?
You all believe fall damage is real in this game.
Graha wove a levitation spell at the last moment. Large enough to catch everyone, it would seem.
That explains the lack of obvious injuries.
The expenditure of so much ether has taken its toll. He will need plenty of rest, but should otherwise be none the worse for wear.
Then the immediate problem is what to do with our new friends here. They'll be much changed for their time in the tower. Even if their bodies are intact, I doubt we could say the same for their minds.
Angelo and I will take care of that.
I have every faith in you, Alize, but there are just too many for you to treat alone.
We'll send at once to Eorzea for more porksies, and call on the local mages to lend a hand.
Hail, scions! We were watching the tower when it simply disappeared. What happened here?
The threat is banished, and thy people delivered. They are, however, in need of treatment, and we of a secure locale and helping hands to assist us in its provision.
You shall have all this and more. Come, let us convey these unfortunate souls to the city.
Local catboy casts Featherball at 10th level. Forgets he only has access to 5th level spell slots now. Yeah, that do be the size of it. The liberated prisoners are being transported to the resident hand for treatment. Now, Senior Stolen will oversee the administration of the tempering treatment. The support for those who know of healing spell or two. I'll go and join them in the same once you've had more moment to catch your breath. I'm so glad we have such good references. have you? You never were one for being idle. Right, Barshan bade us come to Maguta at our earliest convenience. You as well join us once they're finished attending to the prisoners. Ah, wait. On second thought, you and Estenian should go ahead. I need to make a quick detour by the Great Walk. We'll have Graha, the alchemist, care, you see. Has to fetch him before he's crammed into a specimen jar. You look. You assure me that guardsmen of the gate would weave us through. Get him out of there! With what they were doing to Esteni, I don't want to think what they would be doing to Graha. Mining him, possibly. Such dreary weather for Razatan today. Oh, that son of a... under silence, you're free to enter at your leisure. As I cannot leave my post, I'm afraid you must make your own way. Should require directions, say. The sentry stationed at the fountain on the top of the steps should be glad to assist you. It could be. I could either remove ambient noise. Though I've been at Razaham before. This place is a veritable maze. Rather than risk getting lost, we best ask for directions from the sentry at this fountain. Lead the way. And don't expect me to act your tour guide like sorry others. Mistress Relina, I presume. I understand you are here for orders with the satrap. You require directions to the Maguta. I shall be glad to provide them. The satrap resides in the Dam, the highest part of Razatan. To get there, I would only recommend the route that takes you by the bazaars and the city's north. Due to the state of alert, however, most businesses are currently closed. They need to right disabled. As such, I will provide you with an alternative path. First, please ascend the steps next to the fountain, then continue left. There will be more steps, and upon ascending them you will emerge at the cross path. Proceed to the large door on the right. You arrive at the Ruveda Pipes. Within you will find another sentry who will give you further guidance. In other words, Reynolds. Sounds straightforward enough. We have a talking point over here, Estenian. Ah yes, I know that Bell's portal. Leads to a nearby isle. The treasure vault of one of Razatan's wealthiest families. They took the good of the luck of their guardian on account of which they occasionally open up the section of the vaults for aspiring treasure hunters to try their own luck. Or so they say. There are also coffers hidden across the land that act as portals. Find one and you get access to the vault. So to bear in mind in case you exhaust your funds along the road. This is a troubled experience. I can personally attest. Ah, that's any of those treasure dungeons. Neat. They are. I don't do them that often. At least as often as I would like. But that would be my social wishes kicking in. Any of them are good, Raga. In that case, please follow this hallway to my right and go through the large door at the top of the stairs. You'll emerge at the entrance to the airship landing, where another sentry will guide you to assist you. Incidentally, if you ascend the steps to either side of me, you'll find the rich workshops of Bertha fibers. Feel free to observe the artisans. Take care and not to lose your way. The Nerian weave. Hard to imagine more vibrant stuff. I dare say Emmerich would be partial to the gold thread. And the blue, of course. He loves his blue. I've never put much thought into what I wear. This pair of set of clothing is usually all I carry. If that's enough, you can always attain something locally. Give me a sec. For the airship, I'm afraid all flights have been suspended until further notice. So the stay alert is not in effect. Perhaps for the best. Aside, we're not here for an airship. We have business at Manhattan. In that case, what do we direct you? The video is quite simple, really. Ascend these steps and then continue straight ahead and then cross the bridge. You cannot miss it. Sorry. I remember passing by here with Vashran. The situation being as it was, he regretted not being able to show us his sights. Life is yet to return to normal here. But when it does, you'll pay another visit. Though say it's confusing, food is quite good. I'm partial to hams myself. The meat's surprisingly tender and joyful. Joyfully flavorful. You eat the dodos, don't you? May make sense. Greetings and welcome to the Mekanta. Quite a business. We are members of the Silence of the Seventh Dawn, came at the invitation of His Excellency. Ah, of course. We have been expecting you. I will show you into the audience chamber, if you'll follow me.
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Not at all. Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent, in more ways than one.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
Valiant scions, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. You cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence. No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzat-Han.
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the High Crucible of Alchemia. Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzat-Han will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
'Tis of no moment. A mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
Albeit brief, my involvement in the Dragonsong War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
'Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Nay. When war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydralin to whom you must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort. Tis a story from my youth, many, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsummer did reply, 'twas the last bastion of hope. He believed so long as Hydralin endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydralin does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
But Nanas...
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
Prithee, a moment. There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor, 'tis thee. I know of his clash with Omega, and the long slumber which was his price. Yet even closed in sleep, my father's eyes are far from blind. He is watching over thee, watching over this world. 'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsummer's trust, but alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread. For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed with woe. Amidst this tangled knot thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou wilt need come the end. Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss. Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go. At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back into my hall, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
That was nice. So, what were you and Vitra talking about? Nothing. Very well, if you say so. The others are gone ahead to the High Crucible. Let's catch up to them. The attendant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. First, I was returning to the mulberry orchard. Alright, Captain. You have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. From here, we're supposed to follow the path left to go past the mulberries. Oh, now that's more like it. Look at that sky. The street turns, enter the door straight ahead. descend the steps. I thought the Crystarium was confusing, but this is compared to Razed Han. The architecture and decorations make it even harder to get your bearings. Anyway, let's see where the store takes us. The Crystarium is very easy to navigate. It is indeed a slicky place. And here's the Aethery Plaza. So far so good. And there's so much further to go. From here we just need to cross to the other side of the hall, then pass through the larger of two doorways, and a crucible lies beyond. That's why the others have already collected the warding skills. Come, let's join them. You took your time. You'll turn around, I take it. Though this land hath been afforded a respite, a turmoil to many others languish still. Our work is far from finished. Excellent. You're in time to hear the lead. It's good news. An immense laboratory. I mean, such places were implicit to help forge some warding skills, I wonder. As I heard it, as you defeated Nitok, his skills found their way into the hands of the Pyramid's artisans. Seemed in power as they are, so I'm surprised they were converted. Still, it is a strange legacy for the vengeful work. I'm quite well now, I assure you. As they say, the stronger the taste and stronger the colour, the more effective the remedy. With my body put, try and replenish the ether I spent, however, I'm feeling rather famished. I think a sample of local delicacies order. Perhaps the casino would be a good place to start, perhaps. I mean, Airwalker's not almost over. You don't say your reaction. His chance have always previously turned to Razed Han alchemists for help with this analysis of various artifacts. That's how I became acquainted with Nadana. I'm glad we could rescue her. Pray she make a full recovery. Alas, of course. At least we found the place.
These are the talismans we were promised.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for. Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telophoroid's base of operations. Of course, we would need to consult with various Alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated. To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. and Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
We shall share the burden then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Please, I must speak with you.
Nidana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption. It seems I've been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Thavnair from an awful fate.
Yet who hath truly saved whom? Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
The talisman? Is this true? Oh, I was so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it.
Look at that! Its color is completely changed.
What do you have there? How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is distinct from ether?
Us foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts. Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions. Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate. The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, Surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities. That is a manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research. Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Nonsense! You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
Shall we depart for Sharlayan then? I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the Annex.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
The last thing I remember before being absorbed into the tower was you rushing toward me. I can only imagine the hardships you and yours must have overcome to rescue me. Thus, no amount of words will suffice to express my gratitude. But I hope the flower's gradient glow says everything I cannot. Oh sweet, I just made almost $500,000. Right, and we can't use the airship, so at least knowing that, this is going to be a little less painful. Be back, and with the fruit of our labor safely in storage. For now, we have to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As Cypher suggests, we should get some rest in the meantime. Welcome back, Relina. Krylos praised me of your recent accomplishments. What an amazing feat to eliminate a tower and pave the way to deal with the rest. Well, it isn't much. I changed your sheets and pumped up your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing a nice clean bed after completing a major milestone. Be it penning a thesis or defeating deformed entities. So, would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now?
Take heart and protect them well.
good. You're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
The cat has a cheeseburger.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his liking.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Cryle, I hear you've recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done. If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes? Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat-Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt, the relief of a people with renewed hope.
Indeed, and in turn I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telophoroi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day. Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle. Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume?
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion. They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Oh.
Alright. What are we saying, chat? Number 3? Alright. You know these are my quarters.
Why else did you think we were here? Surrender to thy fate, O champion.
Ah! Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled. And I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon the ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No. All else is... equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke. But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame. I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more,
And then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn. Burn. Let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
That was a night. And, well, she did hold her cup. But you are correct, it looks like she put it down without drinking from it. I hope you didn't mind us barging to your room for a late night feast. For what it's worth, it did me a world of good to put our troubles to one side. If only for a moment. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope. I was about to make my way to the studio as it happens. I want to try and speak with Scholar Quanticate again and thank him for coming to our rescue at the Ross Track. As it turned out, he came here to see us following the hearing. Wanting to find out if we'd already departed for Thavnir. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to cheer the Chicago with his former students. Since we're still waiting for your soul and the others, I thought now would be the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too. Assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go and head to the phenomenon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studio for a time. That might be the best, for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. No, I don't think we're getting to where I was hoping we would get to. But that's fine. This might be a better end point for today. If Captain Father can master these fiendish contraptions, so can I. Heading out for a stroll? The scholar himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him. though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. After all, if all people worry about is over his reputation, and our alma mater, no less, no wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Here it is, Phenomenon. I expect you may know of it before. One can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? Well, most of the space is taken up by expensive auditoriums. It's also housing numerous laboratories, testing grounds, like for experimental magics, and also administrative offices and so forth. That's why the centre of which would later become the studio. It was established to promote the study of ethological phenomenon, hence the name. Though with ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, the scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life, and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th Astral Era, phenomenon was agreed to complete, and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is, without question, the world's leading authority in theological, the arcane, the occult, astronomy, and countless other fields, standing proud as Charlatan-funded foremost educational institute. He always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited the same foppish speech, such as undying love for some old stomping ground. He was in top form back then. Youngest enter in the studio, graduate with the highest honor in magic arts and authority, undisputed champion of the debate chamber. Hold on, you both still joined the studio at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're both equally prestigious scholars. Nice of you to say, Alpha actually entered half a year before me. Nor did I see him do well enough to graduate with honours. I am certainly not the studio's most notorious master debater. In no respects have I ever been in his shadow. If nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alpha and Old Levier began. I expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent expertise. Hopefully, we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were the last time. I know better than anyone the duration the student body has for Alpha. With a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Charlotte Scholar Montague. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, it's fond of wondering where service will mistake him. Let's go up and ask the students if they've seen him. I can only assume that they do not know what Master Debater sounds like in English. Because if they did, then... well, Alpha No would be. I assure you, I'll tell you all about it as my business with the scholar is concluded. The Scholar? Tell me, good fellow, does this have something to do with saving the world from catastrophe? Might we turn our attention to Miss Olivia's graduation thesis? I too have my doubts regarding the policy of non-intervention. Is it true that from your overseas experience and the reason you haven't cured the island of the form? Or I wouldn't give to see you butt heads with those old codgers. My princess, my queen. So long as I continue my research with you, I am in bliss. I can almost imagine the Japanese version we use a literal English. Things were bad enough during our school days, and Alpha's time abroad is only heightened his frame. Or should that be infamy? He's had rivals and detractors, of course. But most of them gave up after his adoring fans that upon him like ravenous dogs. Alpha, on the other hand, has never paid them much notice. They were simply beneath him. Phenomena is some of your multi-purpose facility used by lecturers and craftsmen alike. If you're looking for learners, meet is through the last doors on the left. That was Alphino Levier, wasn't it? The Alphino Levier! And he's with the sister, and Master Maldesi's granddaughter. It's going to be one thing. That an event of epoch-shattering proportions fast approaching. Spread the word. Oh, sorry. So you're looking for the scholar? Yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere. Miss Elliot should have a better idea. Lost? Wandering off the street, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner, fresh out the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly me. An orientation is in order. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to the Searcher's Meet. Let me start with a question. What's the most important thing you'll find in the studio? That's right, books. What's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal with here at Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. I have Pasia this, tongue of a gigantic toad that is allowed to make your hair split on ends, which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish. This being a magic school and all. School of Magic. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you. I think you'll find it quite rewarding. One thing I mentioned on gleaning is information on the scholars' whereabouts. I've checked on my many missionless knickknacks in my time. Oh, no gleaner. Sarky. I beg your pudding. You know a gleaner? Then this was an all-elaborate ruse? No, wait. Come to think, I never actually claimed to be one in the first place. My mistake. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. Said he was on his way to Baker's Beat. Go back the way you came in and you'll see on the opposite side of the entrance. There's a laboratory of sorts. Home to many rare and expensive curios. Not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If there's your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. In the time it's taken for me to tell you all this, the Skull Arc has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. Oh, right. They don't have a Wendy's, Ori, but that cafe we were in last week does make burgers. It was part of his efforts to broaden Charlian cuisine. Yes, the scholar was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though he spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When he parted ways, he went down the corridor. Perhaps one of the auditoriums? Found him.
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that Inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the Annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat. We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into 3 forms. 2 are of the incorporeal sort, the soul, and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third? Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The 7th Umbral Calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve. Rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
we are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable. Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Try to remember that, because that's going to be very important. Some of my earliest memories of Scholar Montague, actually. He was a close friend of our grandfather. He would come for tea and amaze us with his tricks, much like his demonstration with paper and ink. It's a huge part of why I wanted to introduce him in the first place. While Scholar Montague is best known for his role as the head of the studio, he is said to be one of the finest mages Sharlayan's ever produced. I've seen for myself the ease which he weaves extraordinary complex and powerful magics. I have no reason to doubt the claim. Well, that's giving much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives. The mystery of life itself, for good measure. It's funny. I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave him more indebted than before. I feel his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in the days to come. On that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps in the way you could better acquaint yourself with Kielpo, as the other scholar suggested. My terrifying Zaraha. And yes, sorry, it really was correct answer. Stupid answer. No answer. Which you can only assume you think the no answer. It gives you an opening for no to answer. Which is probably why I'm a stupid answer as well, honestly. But you know, I'm a grandmaster of magic. I have a reputation to maintain. spent most of my time in Tavnir. I had to feel the grass alive with Alantir and Sherlin. Even find my way to Annex broke the challenge. Lusenia returned not long after we departed for the studio. A shame they missed a chance to attend the lecture of the Scholar. Or perhaps not. You better not let your guard down around Q. One small favor becomes another, then another. And before you know it, you'll be running to the other side of the world in search of balls of wine or some rubbish. Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace then from your usual heroics. And as for the Scholar's head, it could be to interesting discoveries. It seems I've done an adequate job of relating Scholar going to Gates actions to Raha. Given experience in the other souls and memories, he had no trouble understanding it. I bet he wasn't there. Ah, welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studio proved most educational. While you were away, I've received word from our fellow Silence. As expected, none of the wandering souls was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of the Orsi and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Lips and Laminsa. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but it does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan. Well, let's see what awaits us in Velbrand. Let's start by taking the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Essenian? His crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Beecher and the alchemists are of the great work putting their hearts and soul into each and every one of these scales. So you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the form's watchful gaze, I've no choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as an official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. And then, with luck, we'll soon have good news on our own share. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. Let's Laminsa. If you learn all of interest, be sure to let me know. In the meantime, I'll do what I can to aid our cause. But I fear that will be precious low given the circumstances. Yeah, this would be a much better endpoint. Okay, let's do this. I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral was at present entertaining the other seats here on the Sultana. Three of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? FF4 now. My apologies for calling you away from Charlie on a short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful. I'm pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. It was only right that the discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers. It's only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed by those decisive actions. And we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It's reassuring to learn that we are all in accord. But may I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize their potential to their fullest. During your time with Charlie, the Allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge of abductions of Kobolds, Sahagin, Ixal, and Anata have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. Your triumph in Razat Han has given us new cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace. And it is you, the Sons of Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telefroy at bay, we will stretch our fan and thighs to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Ilsabard contingent. Do you think such progress as we've made in such a short span? Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and Imperial civilians have been tempered. Of their free will, they serve the Telefroys every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or potential political gain, because it's the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside our decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forget and forgive and forget. I ask only that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality. For without that, there could be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, and on that we can all agree. Our second objective is a colossal tower that Thancred and Orianji observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there seems to be believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was tumbled, we failed to make any headway. Though the same can be said of the Telefroy. There are certainly no rush to press further into our lands. I wager the spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be the substance sustained by Yastor's analysis of the tower's influence on etherical currents. Based on our observatory inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for. We can be assured it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it were redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that, regardless, once we have uncovered the truth. We'll bring their schemes crashing down, along with the infernal towers. That's all well and good. What else would the others do? I assume it's more than holding over the telltale scales would be able to. We want you and your scales to join the Elsevier contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. Couldn't have put it better myself. Crystal and Thanker Nuriaji have already pledged to support, and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily, for all involved, the prediction was correct. Once you fulfill the lever to the board of Scales Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Elsebard. Robin and Lord Emmerich are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in recoil to Lothway so much as draw steel. As for us, keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can bring them diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge the Eorzea will be as you left it. Or better, upon your return. I am disappointed in myself that I did not stick to the original plan. Because a little bit of the majesty of what's about to happen is a little lost. But at the same time, I think you are going to like what we're about to see. I must quiz Thanker and Nuriaji on the conditions we can expect in Garlemald. I know it's cold, but how cold? I need to keep my ears covered. They can be a bit sensitive at times. I'll admit this is all rather daunting. It's all quite in the way I was expecting. We'll be standing shoulder to shoulder with our alliance finest. The best of the best. The warrior light and... well, me. It's silly, I know. Perhaps this is my way of distracting myself from the part I should be worried about. Marching into Garlemald. If Emmerich asks after me, say I'm getting on fine and leave it at that. Don't you dare breathe a word about the cord. Stenian, I have very bad news. Emmerich's right there. He just heard you. Fancy meeting you here. I trust our mutual friend is settling into his life as a scion. Collaboration never was his forte. The moment the fighting ended, off you go. Like a gale cat swept up in the strong breeze. But rest assured, you'll always be there when you need him. Probably. We're looking forward to seeing who's been selected for the Elsebard contingent. I have a few people in mind. Care to make a friendly wager? The Wanderer's return. You've been busy breaking down a tower and producing the keys and destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding skills of yours are what made this whole adventure possible. Will you and Lord Lord Demblick be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Although was to organize the various delegations of that cohesive unit. Once we see you off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long. These are defensive efforts fall into disarray. Just between us, a fair moral position of coordination is for our contingent. The very suggestion that we are sent some of our fire troops behind enemy lines to put aid onto the Gallians has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't face them all. Sadly not. I'll do my best. Should be told I'd rather be at your side charging into the fray. Alas, I balance my own fight, but my words certainly better than my any. I hate to say it, but Lord Emmerich struggles to matter my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing your horse is in safe hands. As you fight a good fight in Nilsabard, I and the commanders will do all we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. Meet again. Much has occurred since we parted ways in worlds. What I gathered their protective talismans are obtained by the foundation of exposure ordinary force. My contribution on this occasion has been to mine. Now the information I share with Mexico. For the sake of the people of Garland, may the fates be on your side. So, you're not coming with us? Strange. But instead of sickness, I do. Tell Wolfroy I have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every motive may be cauterized for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering the Emperor Varus and plunging Garlewald into chaos. Were I to travel the hills of our contingent, I may give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of our former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and conflicting with the contingent's mission. Whether I'm branded a villain or not, I will only hinder your efforts. Strength and courage to deliver my country. I am certain of it. Unlike the Lacailles' rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may be defected for political reasons, the love of Garlewald endures. I was someone nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. I ask you to score our friends aside. I might even bump into an acquaintance or two. And if I don't see you again, there you apart. And if you're a guide to protect you, all of you. Question, because I am just about out of steam. Would you rather wait till next week to see who the contingent is? Or would you like to see who the contingent is now? And then end. I do not have the Garlewald into me tonight. Make a way. Alright. How about you, Darth? Waiting in the shadows. Or to just step back into the Stargate. You're right. Going once. Going twice. Alright. I'm sorry for the short stream tonight, guys, but I have had a day. Next week, we go to Garlemald. At long last. Thank you very much for stopping by. Let's go get ourselves someone to raid. Mecca's still going and he probably will be for another hour, so let's go raid him. Thank you all very much for stopping by. I hope you all enjoyed. I feel like this is also just a better pace for Endwalker. It's a good game for. It's a very. I don't know how to put this. It's very easy to break down into bits. Very good down to break down into bits. But yes. Until next time. Cheery bye. Or cheery cheery. Cheery bye.